The policy clearly emphasizes that monetized content must be significantly original and authentic, and that mass-produced or repetitive content, including AI-generated content lacking added value or a human touch, will not be eligible for monetization. Strictly speaking, YouTube channels that are entirely AI-driven without any significant human touch will likely lose their monetization following YouTube's new policy on July 15, 2025. Amidst the rapid flow of technology, especially artificial intelligence, human creativity is often tested. We live in an era where the line between authentic work and automated production is becoming increasingly blurred. However, it is precisely at this point that the role of humans is redefined, not just as content creators, but as the souls who give meaning to every frame, every narrative, and every expression. YouTube, home to billions of videos, dreams, and expressions, is now facing a massive influx of automated content. AI has opened the door wide for anyone to create videos, without even touching a camera or saying a word. But amidst the explosion in quantity, quality, and authenticity are beginning to be compromised. And this is where the turning point begins. On July 15, 2025, YouTube established a new policy that sent a clear signal: the platform would favor content with soul, not just content that could be mass-produced. YouTube set new boundaries that were not simply technical regulations, but a call to return to essential values: authenticity, engagement, and human value. This was not to ban technology, but to ensure that creativity continued to grow from understanding, not just from automation. So let's take a deeper look at not just what's changing, but why it's changing, and how we as creators can adapt, not with fear, but with a new vision. YouTube believes that every video should reflect the human presence behind the scenes through a story, narrative, or point of view. Not just because we can make videos, but because we have something to say. This is the essence of this new policy philosophy: AI can help, but humans must remain present. According to information I've found, on July 15, 2025, YouTube will implement stricter policies regarding monetization through the YouTube Partner Program, or YPP. The primary focus of this change is to ensure that monetized content is significantly original and authentic. Based on the key points of this new policy, namely the emphasis on original and high-quality content, YouTube will prioritize monetization for creators who upload original, high-quality content. This means content that adds value to viewers. However, AI-generated content, the use of AI in content creation is not prohibited, but if a channel uploads a large amount of AI-generated content without significant human curation or transformation, its monetization may be revoked. Ultimately, human-led creativity will remain the core of monetizable content on YouTube. This policy aims to reduce revenue for channels that publish videos that are mass-produced, repetitive, or require minimal effort. Strictly speaking, YouTube channels that are entirely AI-driven without significant human input will likely lose their monetization following YouTube's new policy on July 15, 2025. The policy clearly emphasizes that monetized content must be significantly original and authentic, and that mass-produced or repetitive content, including AI content that lacks added value or a human input, will not be eligible for monetization. So, if your channel relies solely on AI to produce videos without any curation, editing, or adding original human narrative or perspective, this new policy will likely negatively impact your ability to earn money on the platform. However, this latest YouTube policy does not prohibit the use of AI entirely, as YouTube does not prohibit the use of AI in content creation. Focus on originality and authenticity. This policy places greater emphasis on whether the content is significantly original and authentic. If a channel only uploads entirely AI-generated content without any significant human input, such as curation, editing, added value, or original narrative, it risks having its monetization revoked. However, this policy does not apply if the video has a significant human input. Channels that use AI as a tool in the creative process are likely still safe, as long as the generated content adds value. A unique perspective, or a human touch that differentiates it from purely AI-generated content. For example, if AI is used to create an initial draft of a script, but then it is heavily edited, researched, or delivered in a distinctive style by a human, it is likely still eligible. And of course, all YouTube creators are required to avoid mass-produced and repetitive content. Channels that use AI to automatically generate large amounts of content with little or no variation or added value are at significant risk of losing monetization. YouTube wants to avoid content created solely for quantity without quality. While not explicitly mentioned in the policy brief, it is likely that transparency regarding the use of AI in content creation will be a consideration in the future. In conclusion, if your channel is AI-powered and produces innovative, value-added content, rather than simply mass-generated content without a human touch, it is likely to maintain its monetization. However, if your channel relies solely on AI to generate content without any human creativity and authenticity, you will need to reevaluate your content strategy to remain compliant with YouTube's new policies. It is highly recommended to monitor YouTube's official announcements for more detailed and specific information regarding the implementation of this policy.